Welcome back, my dear student. In this section here, what we're going to be doing is applying a more secure system to our application. We're going to be using prepare statements. I'm going to be explaining what prepare statements are. I'm not going to go into depth, okay, in prepare statements because this is not a prepare statement course. And for that, we can have a whole course in prepare statements. Now, there's a bunch of documentation there on the php.net website. You can Google it, okay, and you can find out more information. But I want to show you what prepare statements are, and I want to show you how to use them. I'm not just basically I'm not going into depth into what each of those uh, special functions do because they do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Okay. All right, so I'm in category.php here, and one of the first things that I'm going to do here that I see this code that we written a long time ago, right? Um, what I want to do is I want to actually I want to change this for this because we have this is admin functionality that we added to our application. And guys, these couple lectures that I'm about to make here for you, it's because I want to add value to the course. It's not something that I was planning to, but because you guys make requests all the time, and even though it takes me a little while to get them applied to the course, I do it. I have thousands of students, over 89,000, I believe, right now, and it's just hard to keep up all my courses up to date. But I try my best, and I keep my courses up to date, and if I'm not there yet, I will. If you're taking some of my other courses, I haven't really updated that course to something that I say I would, I'm going to, okay? Just like I'm doing this one. But anyway, hope you guys appreciate this. So let's just say we want to check if this guy is available, okay? And this is, we're just making sure that this guy is an admin. If he's not an admin, then, and of course we get that problem. This is because we have a whole bunch of little parentheses there, and that's not where it is. It's on line 20. If it's set is admin, actually we can do this. There we go. That's gonna work better. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that I'm logged in. Well, I wasn't logged in. I was, and then I logged out, and you can see that it is working. Okay, so another way to know that this is good actually is that if I make this draft, if I'm not admin, I shouldn't be able to see that. Actually, draft. Let's go here, make the other one draft as well. Okay, and now if I go into another browser, you can see that it says no post is available. That's pretty cool stuff. Okay, all right. So now let's go back to here and let's see what prepare statements are and how we can apply it to our code in our application basically. So this is the regular query, right? We are creating a query here and we are taking all this into our database. Prepare statements work in a different way. They don't take all this in. They don't take this in. They take a placeholder instead. So we put a question mark in the prepare statement and then we send that in. And that gets processed, and then later on we bind the original value, which is this guy in this case, for this query. Now let me show you. We use a function called MySQLi prepare statement actually. Okay, and this function is going to take two parameters. Well, you already see one parameter there. The first parameter is going to be the connection. Okay, and the second would be the query with a placeholder. We're not sending those values in yet, and this is the great stuff about prepare statement. Again, there are a bunch of documentation about it if you want to go into depth, but I'm going to try my best to explain it here. Remember, this is an extra feature, so it's not a course for it. Okay, so this functionality though, we're going to have two different statements though. Usually we have one, but because we created this little functionality to just find out if we have an user, an admin or not an admin, we have to create two statements. So what I want to do is I want to, first of all, before we go to the next line, we don't want to say we want to get everything. We want to specify what we want out. So I'm going to specify the ID. I believe this below here would give me an idea what I need. So I need all these fields. Okay. So I don't want you to see me typing in. So I did it super fast. You saw that? Okay. So basically what I did is I'm selecting every column here that I want to get out of my database. Okay. All the columns, all the information that I want out later on. Of course, because this is gonna be, we're gonna be fetching data on this case. Sometimes we will need to insert data, so we would do the same thing, but of course we change our queries, right? But anyway, so this is statement number one, and now we need to create statement number two. And what I'm gonna do with statement number two is I'm gonna copy everything to this point here, and I'm gonna paste it there. Now we have two conditions here. We first checking to see if the category ID is the same. We replace it with a question mark, and we do the same thing with this publish static string, which we are going to be putting in a variable here, because one good thing about prepare statement is that it doesn't take strings in some of the functions, so we need to make it a variable publish, and we're gonna use this later. You're gonna see where. I'll show you. Okay, so we're doing pretty good here. Now let's replace this. Let's just replace it from here and right here. Make sure that we wrap it. Make sure that we put our connections here, and make sure that we have a variable here. Now, because this is statement number two, we're gonna make sure that it is statement number two there. Okay, so we're done with this. On the next lecture, I'm going to show you some of the functions that this uses, because we're not done here. Okay, we can't use the same functions again. We have to use different functions since we're using a different type of format of the API of MySQLi. I'll see you in the next lecture.